Welcome to Co-Pilot Podcasts. A Tuesday afternoon in Baltimore turned into an earthquake that shook the NFL to its core. The Ravens, one of the league's most stable franchises, just fired John Harbaugh after 18 seasons. Today, we're diving into what happened, why it happened, and what it means for both the Ravens and their longtime coach.
Yeah, and this wasn't just any firing. We're talking about a coach who won 180 regular season games, brought home a Super Bowl trophy, and made the playoffs 12 times in 18 years.
It's wild to think about. I mean, when Harbaugh started in Baltimore, some of today's NFL rookies were in kindergarten.
Exactly. And what makes this even more shocking is how it went down. Around 2:45 p.m. on Tuesday, it was business as usual at the Ravens facility. Harbaugh was chatting with his staff, no indication of what was coming.
Wait, so this wasn't some long-planned move?
Not at all. According to reports, even the general manager Eric DeCosta was visibly distraught when he had to deliver the news to the coaching staff.
Let's back up a bit. What led to this decision? The Ravens finished 8-9, but that's only their third losing season under Harbaugh.
Well, it's complicated. The Ravens started the season 1-5, and while they fought back, they went 0-4 in games decided by 5 points or fewer. That includes that heartbreaking final loss to Pittsburgh.
That missed field goal by Tyler Loop that would have put them in the playoffs?
Right, but it goes deeper than just wins and losses. There were growing tensions between Harbaugh and offensive coordinator Todd Monken.
Oh, really? What was happening there?
According to The Athletic, Harbaugh's refusal to even consider moving on from Monken became a key pressure point in his dismissal. Players were frustrated with Monken's play calling, especially his handling of Derrick Henry.
And what about Lamar Jackson? There were rumors about tension there too, right?
Yeah, Ian Rappaport reported that Harbaugh had lost the locker room, starting with Jackson. When asked after Sunday's game if he wanted Harbaugh back, Jackson notably declined to answer.
That's pretty telling.
You know what's interesting, though? Tony Dungy came out strongly against this decision.
What did he say?
He basically said he couldn't believe what things have come to in the NFL. He pointed out Harbaugh's consistent success. Their records the last 4 years were 10, 7, 13, 4, 12, 5, and then 8, 9.
I guess Dungy can relate. He was fired by Tampa Bay right before they won a Super Bowl with his team.
Exactly. And he ended his comments by saying, "Good luck, Baltimore, in finding a better coach."
The player reactions have been fascinating too. What are you hearing about that?
According to Adam Schefter, players were coming to Harbaugh's office crying, hugging him, giving emotional goodbyes. That doesn't sound like a coach who completely lost his team.
But some players weren't as supportive, right?
Right. Derrick Henry and Ronnie Stanley notably declined to give Harbaugh a vote of confidence. One player told reporters they were surprised but not shocked.
The timing seems strange, though. Why now, after 18 years?
Well, the Ravens had Super Bowl aspirations this year. They had 6 Pro Bowl players, tied for the league lead. When you have that much talent and finish below 500, something has to give.
And what about the offensive struggles? The Ravens finished 16th in total offense despite having all that talent.
That's right. And remember, Jackson's numbers dropped significantly from last year when he had 41 touchdown passes and over 4,000 yards.
So what happens now? Where does Harbaugh go from here?
According to Adam Schefter, 7 teams reached out to Harbaugh's agent within an hour of his dismissal. The Giants are reportedly very interested.
Wow, he's not going to be unemployed for long.
No, and what's interesting is that even some teams that currently have head coaches are reportedly interested in him.
And what about the Ravens? Who might they be looking at?
Jesse Minter is an early name to watch. He's been called a star in the making and has connections to the organization through his time with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan.
This is only the 4th head coach search in Ravens history, right?
That's correct. In 30 years, they've only had Ted Marcabroda, Brian Billick, and Harbaugh. That's incredible stability.
Speaking of stability, what does this mean for the Ravens' culture going forward?
That's the big question. One player told the Baltimore Banner they're nervous about all the changes that might be coming. When you've had the same coach for 18 years, any change feels massive.
And I imagine the new coach will be under immediate pressure to win with Lamar Jackson in his prime.
Absolutely. There's no grace period here. The Ravens have too much talent to accept a rebuilding year.
Do you think they made the right decision?
You know, sometimes relationships just run their course. But as Tony Dungy said, finding a better coach than John Harbaugh won't be easy.
Let's talk about Steve Bisciotti's role in all this. He's only the second owner Harbaugh worked under, right?
Yes, and Bisciotti's statement was telling. He called it an incredibly difficult decision, but emphasized they need to find someone who can meet their high standards.
The Ravens have always been known for making calculated, not emotional decisions.
Right, and that's what makes this so interesting. This wasn't a knee-jerk reaction to one bad season. This was about the overall direction of the organization.
And what about the coordinators? Will Monken and Orr stay?
That's unclear, but given the criticism of Monken's offense and the defense finishing 24th overall, I'd expect more changes coming.
It's amazing how quickly things can change in the NFL.
It really is. Just 2 years ago, Harbaugh was leading them to a 13-4 record and the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Do you think we'll ever see another coach stay with one team for 18 years?
Besides Bill Belichick and Mike Tomlin, probably not. The NFL has become too impatient, too focused on immediate results.
What will be Harbaugh's legacy in Baltimore?
Despite how it ended, he'll be remembered as the most successful coach in franchise history. The Super Bowl, 12 playoff appearances, 180 wins. That's a Hall of Fame resume.
And he handled his departure with class, too.
Absolutely. His statement was all about gratitude and appreciation, no bitterness at all.
So when we look back on this in a few years, how do you think we'll view this decision?
I think it'll depend entirely on what happens next, both for the Ravens and for Harbaugh. If he goes somewhere else and wins big, this could look like a massive mistake.
Like when the Eagles let Andy Reid go and he went on to win in Kansas City.
Exactly. But if the Ravens find their next great coach and Lamar Jackson thrives, it might be seen as perfect timing.
Well, as we wrap up today's episode, what's your biggest takeaway from all this?
That even in the NFL, where change is constant, some changes can still shock us. And that sometimes success isn't enough. It's about alignment, relationships, and a shared vision for the future.
And that's what makes this story so fascinating. It's not just about wins and losses. It's about the human element of sports.
Absolutely. And whether you agree with the decision or not, it's the end of an era in Baltimore.
Thanks for joining us on Copilot Podcasts. Sometimes the biggest stories aren't about what happens on the field, but the decisions made off it.